What is up, heroes? Welcome to yet another episode of Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tychus, the ranged assassin, and recently his attack range has been buffed to equal that of the other ranged assassins. So this is going to give him a lot more options and I think a lot more viability. He was already pretty viable. He wasn't like a first pick or anything, but he was just, you know, a kind of standard pick in Hero League pretty occasionally when on certain maps, you know, when you want to defend a tribute with the big laser and stuff like that. But I think this added range is really going to make him more of a force to be reckoned with and more of a standard pick, especially in the higher level of play. So we're going to go for sort of an auto attack based build and take advantage of this new upgraded range and see how he does. I think it's going to work out pretty well. And with that said, let's hop into a quick match. Let's go! Okay, guys, so we're spawning in on the newest map, the Eternal Conflict. This is going to be quite interesting. I haven't yet done a video on this map, and plus we're doing a build of which I haven't yet done a video on, so this is going to be very, very cool. So for the first talent, we're going to take something a little bit interesting. We're actually going to take increased range on run and gun so that we get kind of I'm actually thinking about using this more offensively than defensively. Of course, we have the option to use it defensively if we want, but basically, this little bit out of range is not huge. You see it over here. It's not huge, but it's just going to give us a little bit extra mobility that potentially could help us. Plus, most of these talents aren't really going to help us that much early, just that much early on with an auto attack based build. If we were going to overkill build, of course, armor piercing round would be so huge. But you already see, oh, another Tychus. Hey, Tychus, you can't steal my idea. But you already see the increased range right there real quick. It's so huge and so significant and just absolutely huge compared to it previously was. We're going to get a quick kill on Raynor. It looks like Murky's going to solo bottom. And that's okay. It's an interesting strategy for this map. I just wonder if he'll be able to solo sufficiently. And other than that, yeah. So you see, this range it just opens up so many options for us. We can really sit back, dish a ton of siege damage, which of course Tychus has always been great for. But that added safety of being able to sit this far back and deal out that much ridiculous auto attack damage really makes us a force to be reckoned with. And look at this, we can really just chase down heroes. We don't need to stutter step or anything. We just lock on. And just one note about stutter stepping real quick, which is essentially like attacking, moving, and it's a really great strategy, absolutely, but a lot of people tend to overdo it. And what this does, if you overdo the stutter stepping, can actually reduce your effective DPS. For example, this is more so for heroes with pretty fast auto attacks, not slow auto attacks. So for example, if I'm attacking and then I spend all this time to move and then attack again, that's a lot of time I just wasted, whereas I could have gotten off an additional 3 or 4 attacks in that time. So Tychus especially is the perfect example for this. Okay, so this is dangerous. And by the way, this isn't so much a Eternal Conflict, map gameplay video. This is more so focused on Tychus, but of course we are playing on that map. So when they do decide to fight us at their hero, or whatever the heck they're called, we're going to just try to contest this, especially when we have a pretty good, I'm not going to say a pretty good advantage, but a pretty good option to team fight them, especially when our team is pretty strong this early on. Now we're going to actually be in the defensive position, just so happened to be. We are going to wait for this Murden to really deal any sort of damage. We're going to throw out that thingy, and then we're going to come back up. So a couple options for this talent. Oh, this Gar is getting so low and getting taken out. I want to make sure we don't get hit, and that run and gun range really helping us out. We're going to take Focus Attack, periodically increases our attack, and every 10 attacks, it actually... Here, let me get the exact wording. For every 10 seconds, your next basic attack deals 75% additional damage. Basic attacks reduce this cooldown by 1 second. So this means, Tychus definitely has the fastest attack speed in the game by far. I can't think of anyone with a higher attack speed, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. So he has the highest attack speed, and this is just going to make this spell, Focus Attack, so good because that's going to be going off cooldown so quickly. It's going to be coming up very, very often, a lot more often than a lot of other heroes, and this is really going to make it so that we're going to be able to keep this up very often and just deal a ton of damage with that. So I went back in lane to heal, buddy. Okay, well, Anyway, we're gonna head back to lane as the Immortals are now preparing, and they did get their Immortal. So we're gonna defend this. So I'm just gonna ping to let them know, hey buddy, we need to defend this. And also it's a good idea to have someone in the other lane soaking so that you still get the experience, you don't fall behind, but you want the majority of the people to defend the Immortal when it is up. Looks like my team is gonna fight. I'm not sure why. We really just need to defend the Immortal. We don't really need to fight right now, but see, look at how safe this makes us. That's really, I mean, that's what the buff to the auto attack range did. It really just makes us a safer pick. You know, we could play a little bit safer, and we could also be more aggressive in the same light, just because we do have the option to if we want to. But the ability to sit back and deal this much auto attack damage is just absolutely huge, and it really makes a big difference. So I love the change. I've liked Tychus a lot before. He was actually like one of the first heroes I got, so I'm kind of almost biased to him. But I've always liked him, but he wasn't the best pick. You know, he's not a pick I would go for first, and he's usually not a pick I would go for in Hero League if I was trying to just try super hard, win every game possible. But now it's definitely not the case. So we're going to take Rapid Fire, which increases our attack speed even further after, and our minigun stacks is stacked 2 additional times. So this plus focus attack is just going to make us an absolute, you know, chainsaw wrecking ball. I came in like a chainsaw wrecking ball. Chainsaw, what am I saying? Chain gun. Of course, that Joanna blind is actually very, very strong against us now, as it is now time-based rather than auto attack based. So that is actually going to really, if we get blinded, reduce our effective DPS significantly. So that's going to hurt us. We're going to try to avoid those like the plague. Try to avoid those at all costs. I'm going to guess they are taking a Merc Camp now, as we do have a numbers disadvantage here. And that's what I would do if I was them. But I'm just going to ping to let them know. They do have Zagaro's creep all around. Okay, it looks like they're not actually going for that Merc Camp, so we're going to take this Merc Camp. They got that Merc Camp instead. Once again, Zagaro's creep here, so this could potentially be a very dangerous situation. So I'm going to get ready to mount up, and GTFO, this Butcher in lane, actually kind of overextending. Going to frag grenade that. I just want to frag grenade that creep. And we're actually going to overkill to get that extra, or that little bit of slow that is going to keep them crowd control. Oh, what? Oh, no, excuse me. That's only with the talent. But whatever. It did work out pretty well, as we were able to attack through their minion wave. Actually, I thought it was going to slow, but I forgot that it was only through a talent there. And realistically, the auto attack just would have most likely dealt a more effective DPS. So I should have went for that, but it worked out anyway. So we're going to try to DPS down this Immortal. You see how fast we're taking this down. We only had 4 heroes, and now it's going to rotate. I believe it's going to go to the right. So we're going to do a little bit of engagement, possibly try to deal a little bit of harassment and damage. And now their Immortal is pretty low health. They are looking to engage here pretty hard, and we are split up, so that's bad, and we're going to be forced to retreat. But okay, there we go. We have our Butcher finally initiating in. Going to try to take out this Raynor if possible. Not going to be able to. Going to frag grenade them away, protect my friendly Sylvanas, and now we have a chance to deal some damage. But once again, the being outnumbered is just such a severe disadvantage that's making it hard for us to engage back in this team fight. So what we're going to have to do is wait for this Butcher. There's really no way we can hard engage in them right now and prevent them. We can just kind of be annoying and try to disrupt them, but other than that, we don't really have too many options for taking them down. We're going to chase them out, actually, do a pretty good job of that. And let's see here. Oh, they just hit level 10, so that's super dangerous. And once again, this entire team fight has just been me saying how dangerous this is. But there we go. We're going to get the laser drill, and we're going to let's place down our laser drill here so that potentially we could use it on the Immortal if we do decide to attack, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So you want to place a laser drill somewhere where you kind of have options. You know, if you want to attack an enemy hero, you could do that. If you want to attack the enemy boss, structure, etc., you could do that as well. Want to stay alive as much as possible. Going to try to GTFO. They are hot on my tail, and we're going to escape thanks to the help of my teammates. So we were able to secure that Immortal. I'm just going to back out here. Let's go in the wall. Might as well, right? And we're going to back out here, and looks like Murky just doing Murky things, you know. I don't even, sometimes I try to commentate Murky, I'm like, what the heck, he's just being Murky. And there's no real explanation about it. But okay, so our Immortal's going to push, has quite a bit of health, going to get taken down almost immediately, so that is quite almost pathetic. And we're going to stick together here, or hopefully a lot of teams. This is where I see games go wrong on this map. Teams will split up and, you know, hey, I want that top soak. We could need to get level 20, but it's not that huge. You really want to stick together, especially this map really lacks vision. That is why someone like Zagara is just so good on this map, because she has the vision to make up, or he rather, or she rather, what am I saying? She has the vision to make up for it and compensate for the lack of vision that this map really gives you. So, excuse me. I'm going to head up top and try to defend this, as they are going to push down. And we had a couple options there. We could have either all pushed or all defended, but, you know, kind of doing what we did didn't really work out too well, except for the fact that we did take the Zagara, so that was good. We're going to get attacked here. I'm going to place down the laser drill a little bit late on the laser, and they are going to have the Butcher charge in on us. Going to run and gun out here. The frag grenade come for the win, potentially, and we were able to deal out quite a bit of... Uh-oh. I was going to say quite a bit of damage on the Butcher, but we're going to be forced out. And, okay, Butcher initiating. Now, this is where Overkill is actually still a good opportunity, even when you are going auto-attack build. When there's just a huge group of enemies, it really makes it so that, you know, it's just so good, Overkill, in certain situations, when you get the value out of it. Now, in that particular situation, didn't end up getting that value, as most of the enemies ran away, but it's all good. So, next time, we're going to take Problem Solver, which is actually a... wow. That's kind of sad. It's a weaker version of Tank Killer. I'm actually kind of sad about this, but what it's going to do is it deals 0.5% of their attack, or of their maximum health, as bonus attack damage. So Giant Killer, did I say Hunter Killer? I think I did. But Giant Killer is what I meant. It was actually talent back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean like recently in the last patch. It dealt a bonus of 1.5% of their maximum HP as bonus attack. So now that's reduced to 0.5, at least on Tychus, and that does significantly, you know, that is quite a significant drop. But the fact that our attack speed is so high and we are going auto attack based build, that's still going to make it a pretty significant amount. And yeah, so we're gonna, I was kind of sitting back waiting for my heroic, my laser drill to come up, and finally it does, but a little bit late potentially, and this is dangerous. We're gonna try to stay away from this Butcher, and that's the other thing with run and gun. You can use it while you are overkilling, so it's a good option, especially if you are going overkill build, which we're not in this case, but just because we're not going overkill based build doesn't mean we never want to use overkill. It could deal a ton of AoE damage and really just absolutely wreck heroes. And it looks like we're not going to be able to get this Immortal? No? No, we did not. We barely missed it, but it's all good. Not a big deal at all. We're still doing pretty well. Potentially I could have helped them, but I don't think it would have been worth the risk of staying in that lane there. And running gun just so good there at avoiding the Joanna Condemn. Just so good. Ooh, the nice stuff from the Butcher. Focus the anger. People have the best grammar in this game, I swear. Ooh, okay. Frag grenade for the win. Get it out of the way of the Zagara. Could deal a ton of damage to us. You see, they go down pretty quick, especially when you have, you know, people with a lot of auto attack damage. I'm just gonna ping this egg a million times, just let this Murky know, hey buddy, your egg's gone. But guess what? He already knows, so that's okay after it gets taken down. So I'm gonna ping this, most likely where they are. We really can't stop that Merc camp there, as they have a lot of vision in the area. And if we do try to contest, it's gonna end up pretty poorly for us. So I'm just gonna kind of clear out the area and head down bottom. Uh-oh, this is bad. They are engaging pretty heavily, and it is a 3v5, now a 3v4. But as our Butcher is up top, doing his own thing, doing Butcher things, it's not going to work out well for us. So we're just going to be forced to back out. Take a sip from... I usually call this the Fountain of Youth, but that does not look like a Fountain of Youth. That looks like the fountain of deathly drinking, disgusting, nasty stuff. But it actually tastes pretty good when it heals you, because who cares what it tastes like if it heals you? Am I right? Am I right, people? Okay, sorry about that. So, what am I apologizing for? I don't know. Because I felt like I kind of yelled at you. I guess that's what I'm apologizing for. And this butcher here just soloing this merc camp up here, not really getting much done, doing extremely slowly. And that's super dangerous. Look at their positioning. Could really, oh man. Their positioning could extremely, just really wreck us right now. Going to place down our laser drill just in case we get taken out here. Okay, we did end up surviving, which is really good for us. But I'm going to back before these immortals come up. Luckily, we did get the siege camp. However, a fight here would have been so much better. But Murky did back, I did back, Mur didn't back, so we really were at a severe disadvantage. And now my team going in with yet another severe disadvantage. Really something you want to avoid. You know, if you have a disadvantage by any means, no matter what the disadvantage is, you don't want to that's not the time you want to be fighting, you know. So, yeah, we were able to take out the Raynor, kind of even out the odds. And that's okay. So for the next talent, we're going to take Lock and Load, which increases our attack speed when our minigun is wound up. So that's after 3 auto attacks, I believe. And that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to get, you see this little wind effect, whoa, but it's just going to make us able to kite a little bit easier, escape a little bit easier, make us a little bit more mobile, and since we are going to auto-attack base build, that's going to give us the ability to sort of chase down targets a little bit more, since we are going to be auto-attacking the majority of the time. The Immortals are going to switch. Now would be a good time to, you know, push out a wave a little bit for a couple of seconds, but they are going to return very quickly, and we're potentially going to defend. Don't have my heroic up. This is dangerous. Raynor coming up in 2 seconds, Sylvanas in 5. Potentially we could make something happen here in the form of a huge defense, but that huge shield from Joanna just really preventing any sort of major damage I'm able to do. We're chasing them in. We're going to do a little bit of disruption, try to frag grenade them away from my teammate, try to overkill at Joanna, and everything is going wrong right now. That is unfortunate, but just going to laser here, and let's see. Let's try to take out their laser, actually, with my laser. That is going to be pretty slow, but we are going to do that. And oh no, now the laser is back up. Wow, that just was a complete fail. To be honest, I should have focused down the Raynor with that laser, and that's a pretty funny tongue twister. Raynor with that laser, Raynor with that laser. However, I did feel like my team was going to sustain themselves a little bit longer, and that's kind of why I went for the laser rather than the enemy Raynor, but it's all good. Roarwill, aka Murky, is going to be forced to retreat unless he wants to go in 1v5, which is definitely a Murky thing. Definitely a Murky thing if I've ever seen one, but he's not going to do that. Instead, we're going to defend top, which is being under siege very, very heavily. And look at all these Merc camps here they have, or not these Merc camps, excuse me, but these minions, these ranged minions are just going to deal a ton of damage to us, and they're little spears. Oh my goodness, they deal a lot of damage. They're so annoying. I'm going to try to overkill to be sort of annoying to these heroes, you know, try to dish out as much AoE damage as possible, disperse it as much as we possibly can. Not AoE damage is good. It's not always the most effective form of damage in the sense that, you know, it's not always where you want it to go. Except for the first target, of course, with overkill. But that's all good, guys. We are going to get sieged down here pretty heavily. We're going to try our best to defend this. We're not going to be able to. No laser to do anything. It's all good, guys. GG. Well playing. The fat loot's coming down for the enemy team. However, we are dead, so we're not going to be able to take any of those legendaries or set pieces. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. This experiment definitely worked out pretty well. I think if we had a little bit more of an advantage early on, we could have pressed that, and the auto attacks really would have led to our, you know, just really would absolutely wreck. But it was a cool little experiment. Definitely think this build is something I'm going to be going with in the future, and I think it's a lot more viable and competitive now that his attack range is buffed significantly. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to subscribe for some more Heroes of the Storm. Check out my other videos. Leave a like, rate. All that shenanigans. Thanks for watching. Peace.